Alright, what is up guys? So I'm gonna apologize right off the get-go. I'm not real great at like getting videos while things are happening, and a lot of the times I'm stuck doing videos like what this one's gonna be, which is explaining what I did versus showing me doing it. I know a lot of people like to see stuff actually happening, and I just, like I said, I'm not real good at that. That part of it, but we'll start on this end. So real quick explanation. Got a cement pad in front of the house, a little shed here on it, and I just didn't like where it was. I wanted it moved further south and then all the way west back up to the goat shelter, or I mean the goat pen. And what has kind of pushed it to happen now at this point in time is my little cheap beater goat shed that I made just out of some pallets and T-posts. It's just not big enough for the 5 goats we have right now, and 2 of them are, you know, only a couple months old. So I was debating building a whole new shelter out here in the pen, and I was actually gonna put like a way to section the moms and babies off in here next year and build a milking stanchion in there, and then I just got thinking about it and was like, well then why don't I just hurry up and move it where I want it to begin with, and then I can just build off of this, versus building a whole new shelter. I can just come off of this with some add-on stuff. I don't know, it seems like it might work. Honestly, it was a very rough idea, but we'll just go over this real quick. So you can see over here is where it was. You can see the big skid marks. I had to move my barbecue over here to get it out of the way. Sorry, dog just biffed it, but this is the shed. It's not super huge, just kind of your normal standard wood shed. But I took a chain, ran it down each side, and then hooked them together in the back, and then I used a recovery strap because if something came apart, I wanted this to come apart. This strap is only rated for 7,000 pounds. And then right here we've got my winch. Sorry, I don't know how well you can see that, but my winch going over the truck. So this is a soft shackle. I don't know I've used to do a lot of off-roading, playing around, but so these soft shackles, like this one's rated for 32,000 pounds. But what it allows you to do with this is a Factor 55 Pro Link, if anybody's interested in this sort of deal. But instead of having a hook, it's solid. It's solid all the way around. And then by using a soft shackle, you're also, again, you're solid. Nothing can slip off here. And so the winch on the truck is a 12,000 pound winch. I don't know how good you can see it through the trees, but and I'm getting a glare trying to show it, but anyways, so it's let me do this actually. We'll just cheat and get this out of the glare a little bit. So that is a Dodge Power Wagon. It's 2012. They have a Warn winch. It's a 12,000 pound winch. They usually come with a steel cable. I have swapped it out for synthetic. This synthetic, I believe, is rated for 28 or 30 something. Like, it's pretty close to the soft shackle. So this shouldn't break. This shouldn't break because this is only rated for 7,000 pounds. So if something were to break, we bound up too much, shed was just too heavy, I obviously didn't want you know, the chain to be the breaking point. This strap is a lighter duty strap. It should have broke before anything else would, but it didn't. And same thing, these are closed loops on the end. Oh, sorry, my shadow's in the way here. These are closed loops on the end, and then I looped the chain around to itself. This is obviously not the best option, but the other thing with this synthetic rope, if you've never been around winches and stuff, the synthetic rope, when it breaks, it just drops. It'll drop just like that, whereas a steel cable that's on kind of your standard winches, all that steel cable that's on a lot of standard older vehicles, four-wheelers, side-by-side. That stuff is extremely deadly. When it comes apart, and I'm walking over here real quick, so this is obviously just some steel cable that was just here on the property. They were kind of using it as like a dog run, I think, or a zip line. But point being, when that stuff breaks, it stores a lot of kinetic energy, and when it breaks, it will come flying back. It will send stuff flying. If you are ever using a winch cable, actual steel cable, you need to put something heavy. And like people will be like, oh, put a Carhartt vest on there. If it's a four-wheeler, a Carhartt vest might be enough, but honestly, the more weight, the better, because what you're doing is putting a downward tension on it so that when it breaks, it drops, right? Anyways, that's my quick warning on using a winch, because again, I'm not very good at doing videos while I'm doing things. Same with, I've been doing a lot of cutting down of trees, and I've talked about that in some other videos. I'll probably never show me using a chainsaw. I've been around chainsaws since I was younger. My mom has a scar on her leg because I was helping when I was little, and I rolled a log down the hill that my dad had cut up, and it took my mom out in the shins, and yeah, she has a scar on the leg. So like, I've been around chainsaws a long time. And if you've worked in kind of a blue collar industry, a lot of times you'll hear things, or hear a thing called complacency kills. And I'll be honest, I'm complacent with a saw to a certain extent, but I also have been around them so long, I kind of know my limits and their limits. But I've still had many close calls, because I just don't handle them as safe as I should. So you're not gonna ever see me doing a chainsaw video, more than likely, unless I'm just going out of my way to show one without showing how I normally run one. But point being, like I said, there's my little safety brief for if you have a winch, if you're gonna try to move something like this. My tractor, which is, there's my Jeep, and my tractor's just to the side of the Jeep right there. Anyways, my tractor is not running, and sorry, I know the lighting's kind of crazy on this video, but it's really hot. It's middle of the day, sun's blaring down, and I want to get up the mountain this afternoon and go do some fishing first thing in the morning. So I'm trying to knock all this stuff out right now, so I can just get it done versus waiting till it cools off a little bit. But that's kind of leading to me going and hiding in the shade every chance I get. So I know that's causing some weird lighting, but point being, I put this chain around this, and again, one other thing, if you're gonna do this, if you allow the chain to sit right there on the edge, as it pulls, it's actually gonna wrap underneath your shed. So what I did, it's super redneck. I'm at home alone with just the dogs, the goats, and the chickens. I actually took some branches off some trees, and I lifted the chain up, about 8 inches off the ground, and I stuck a tree branch under there to hold it at that level as I put tension on it. Got everything tight, walked over, made sure nothing had slid under. The one stick had broke the first time I tried it and actually had started to go under, so I loosened everything. But yeah, this worked really good. Just nice and slow and easy. Started moving it, went checked. It did crack on the corner a little bit here, and I've got crap all over in the way now because I was trying to just throw stuff out of the way to slide this. But try to show here what we got going on without dropping my camera. But let's see, move some more out of right here. So as you can see, that's kind of cracked now, right? This wood already was kind of in a place where it needed replaced, just not in great shape. Honestly, I could completely redo the sides of this thing. Some of this stuff has come apart. Something I'm debating doing is just stripping all of this and redoing it. Honestly, I'm thinking about just doing solid plywood and painting it whatever color the wife likes. So obviously at one point they had little openings here for animals to go in, as the dog's getting ready to do. And walk over here. I just got this holding the door shut so it didn't get smashed with a chain. I still have a ton of crap in here. And yeah, stuff went flying everywhere. Bikes fell over and got deer antlers scattered. But so this used to have plywood across the front of this, so animals could come in. These actually hinge up on top. Allowed animals in here. Now, again, I'm thinking about using this shed. Try and get out of here real quick. Thinking about using this shed as a spot for the moms and babies to be separate from the rest of the goats, and separate the moms from the babies when we're milking, and just kind of taking the back half of this shed for that. Keep the front half of the shed for probably kids stuff. I've got so much different things in here. I've got the kids ropes for rodeo. I mean, yeah, that's coolant, wall spray. I've just got crap everywhere in here. DeWalt chainsaw, I will say that thing is worth its weight in gold, in my opinion, if you're cutting down smaller stuff and saplings. I've cut down 90% of the stuff at the property here. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling, sorry. But point being, I want to do something here. I haven't quite decided what I want to do. I don't want to turn this into a full-time goat shelter, because that was something we kind of talked about. But the goats just kind of trash stuff. They're just kind of rough on stuff. But that is also another thought, is just cut a hole in the back of this once I slide it up against the fence, and kind of remove all the back shelving, and just shelve off the front half of this, block off the front half of this. Use this for all storage on each side, and then just build me like a small gate to get through in the back. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but again, just kind of showing off what we've got. Sorry, try to get the brightness down a little better here. Like I said, there's a way to move a shed with a chain, a couple things to think about. Again, just 2 chains and a recovery strap. You really don't have to have a winch for this. If you could get a vehicle pulled in and set this over the ball of your vehicle, you could also do that. And the flip side of that is, if you've got a higher vehicle or a higher winch, you're actually going to help put more of a, right, like, so where I had it, I left it really down low and then coming up to the truck, because the winch on the truck is not super high. So I kept it as low as I could, chain wise, right? Like I said, like 8 inches up off the bottom. If you were to do this with a truck and be able to back up, so you have a kind of a taller truck, a hitch with no drop, you could do the same thing, but at that point you would definitely want to have people there to watch, because it's gonna be hard to watch if it's sliding and pay attention to what you're doing. I have seen people move these with truck beds, or I mean truck bumpers, just back up to a corner and slide them a little at a time. I'm half tempted to try that, to slide this back, but I'm determined to get my tractor running here soon, so hopefully I won't have to use the truck. I can just get the tractor up and running, come over and push it. But anyways, there's a quick kind of crazy video, and yeah, sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting stuff put away, get all my chains rolled back up. I'm actually going to try to get some stuff taken care of so I can get up the mountain tonight before it's super late. My dad's up there right now, and I do believe we're having New York strip steaks for dinner tonight, so I'm getting out of here.